this is Linda Cohn from ESPN, and you're listening to the ML Sports Platter.
And the ML Sports Platter back with you all over the major platforms. Download, subscribe, leave feedback, and a 5-star review. That stuff helps an awful lot. We are brought to you by Rosie's Corner, Stanley Law Offices, the Vince Aguirre Consulting Group, and the Camillus Golf Club. Go play Camillus today. 18 holes of championship golf. CamillusHillsGolfClub.com. Man, scenic views, the great greens, and all the rest. You can have lunch after your round as well. Camillus Golf Club is a proud ML Sports Platter sponsor and the official golf course of the ML Sports Platter. I am absolutely delighted and over the moon to bring in one of the great baseball players in recent times. He has a new book out. It's called Cobra, A Life of Baseball and Brotherhood with Dave Jordan. It's Dave Parker. How about it? Dave Parker was one of the biggest and most badass baseball players of the late 20th century. He stood at 6'5" and weighed 235, super intimidating before today's guys, basically grew into superhuman mutants, right? He was a 7-time All-Star, 2-time batting champ, a frequent Gold Glove winner, the 1978 National League MVP, and a World Series champion with both the Pirates and the A's. Just a remarkable read, a great career. The great Dave Parker joins us here on the ML Sports Platter. Dave, this is an honor. Thank you so much. How are you?
Doing good. Nice sunny day.
Yeah, no doubt. This book is awesome, and it tells your career on and off the field. What's the major message, Dave Parker, that you're trying to get through here?
Well, just basically what I'm all about. A lot of people had me pegged as someone different than what I am. I was a guy that cared about his fellow teammates. Mm-hmm. And the relationships that we had as players, and just shedding some light on who I am.
And if someone doesn't know who Dave Parker is, who are you?
Well, I'm a guy that cared about his teammates. I was good with fans. I always took care of my fans. I was a baseball player that was an outstanding player, played hard all the time, ran out every ground ball. Just portraying myself as I
am. And by the way, running out the ground ball, right? Like today, there's no accountability in the game, Dave. I mean, guys can just lollygag through a season. I'm not saying they don't work hard. I'm not saying it's not a grind. But let's be honest right now, like every single ground ball, you need to run out. You need to set an example for kids. Derek Jeter did it. You did it. So many others did it. Schmidt did it. Ripken did it. A ton of guys from your era. I mean, the list is endless. That's an important deal. Today, players aren't held accountable for things like that. A little pass ball, they were supposed to work on it. They were lazy, didn't work on it. And another ball goes by him, not running to first base. All those things are important in the game today. Those are the little things, Dave, and you did those.
Yeah, I was taught the basic fundamentals of baseball at an early age, and it was something that stuck with me. I was at a ball game in Cincinnati, and there was a ball hit to the left of the second baseman, was a half a step away, and he kind of bobbled the ball, and the runner wasn't running hard, and he got thrown out at first. And they're in the middle of a playoff. And I just thought that was something that I would never do.
Yeah, no doubt. So, during your career, talk about the teammates that you had a little bit, how about your best buddies on the field?
Well, my best friend and father figure and mentor was Willie Stargent.
Great player.
Stargent was a great guy.
God, what a player.
Stargent could talk to you just saying hello and
sure.
Walk away with something that you can learn from. And Doc Ellis was another. Doc Ellis was a good friend.
He was a character too, huh, Dave?
Yeah, he took me on the wing, and
yeah.
I learned a lot from Doc. He kept me straight. I know he did the rollers and the acid no-hitter, but Doc was a lot smarter than people gave him credit for.
Oh, I believe it. You're 58th all-time on the RBI list. You know, historically, you're only, quick math, 16 RBI behind Mickey Mantle. Not that far away from DiMaggio, the guy you just mentioned, Willie Stargell, Killebrew, and a whole heck of a lot until you get up to the top with 2297 with Hank Aaron being the leader. You're a 7-time All-Star. You're a 2-time World Series champ. You won the NL MVP in 78. You're a 3-time Gold Glove winner. You're a 3-time Silver Slugger winner. You're a 2-time NL batting champion. You're an NL RBI leader. You're an overall 290 career hitter. You're a 2,700 hit plus guy, right? You're a 339 home run guy, and you've driven in 1,493 RBI. Do you think you're a Hall of Famer?
Well, I'm going to leave that up to them. I mean, I have people that come to me and tell me that I should definitely be a Hall of Famer. And I tell them, write your writers, the ones that's on the committee, because all I could do was what I did on the field. And what I did on the field, those numbers kind of tell you that I should be a Hall of Famer. But I want people to call in and voice their opinion. I had a golf tournament for Parkinson.
Okay.
And we had people that came down from New Jersey, Texas, Miami. All these people came to my golf tournament to let me know how they felt about me being a Hall of Famer. And I told them, right in.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. I mean, the debate goes on with so many guys. I've covered the Hall of Fame, and I'd never touch, your baseball resume, obviously. I'd never touched a high school baseball resume, let alone what you've done. I was a pitcher and shortstop, and once I realized I couldn't throw 90, I went in a different direction right around 7th, 8th grade. And, I've been in media for a long time, and I've covered the Hall of Fame every year since 2004. I've gone to induction weekend every year since 2002. I've gone to induction Sunday every year since 2003, but I've covered it as a media guy. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was there for the Derek Jeter, Larry Walker, Ted Simmons, Marvin Miller induction, and I've covered every year since 2004. The debate reigns over he shouldn't be in, he should be in. Well, if this guy got in, he should be in. And I don't think that the Hall of Fame should be about that. I don't think it's about, well, if Bill Mazeroski's in, then Dave Parker should be in. If Phil Rizzuto's in, then Lou Whitaker should be in. If Alan Trammell's in, then, well, Lou Whitaker should also be in, his teammate, or Omar Vizquel should be in, right? It shouldn't be, well, he's in, so he should be in. You should get in because you're a Hall of Famer. But do you think about that when players get in, like Harold Baines, like Bruce Sutter? And I know you have respect for everybody in the game, Dave. That's fine. But be honest. You see other people get in. Do you use that theory like, well, what the hell? He's in. I should be in. This is bullshit.
Well, I definitely feel that way. I mean, guys that couldn't carry my job are in the Hall of Fame. And I was a player. I have former players that would say that I didn't want to leave the room when Dave Parker was at the plate.
Right, you were a feared hitter in your era. Yeah, you were like Jim Rice in that regard, right?
Jimmy.
You were feared, yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy was a good player.
Yeah, no doubt. But you were feared. You were, continue on that a little bit, like nobody wanted to face you, Dave,
Well, I was intimidating, and I played hard. Second basemen didn't want to cover. Pitchers didn't want to face me. And I left my mark. I wore an earring, was the first guy to wear an earring, the first guy to make $1 million a year.
You had swagger. I like it. You had swagger. I like it. Part of that swagger was the 79 Pirates. I got to tell you, I was born in 1979, so despite the fact that I'm a Yankee fan, I'm a diehard baseball historian, and a baseball. I just appreciate the game and love the history. I don't love what's going on right now. But that Pirate team in '79, I've studied you guys to a T, and that was the year that I was born, man. So, you and I only have that in common, but, I just wanted to let you know that. I was born the year that you won that World Series with the Pirates. What did you, when you think back to that year, when did you realize you guys were great, and what do you take away from that year the most, besides the ring?
Well, we were a family. Just like the record said, we are a family. Yeah. And we were coming back from deficits all year. We were one of those teams that was never out of a game. We had a manager that was ideal for the team because he let us govern ourselves. And Chuck Tanner was ideal for the team. Mm-hmm. And we were just a team that never said die.
So, you've had both of your knees replaced with injuries from your playing career. I have terrible knees. I was diagnosed with grade 2 arthritis about 2 months ago in my knees. They said I have 60-year-old knees for a 41-year-old. And eventually grade 3 is coming, grade 4 is coming, and then the eventual, which you've done and I don't really want to think about. I'm also kind of a softie. You're tougher than I am by far. Have they helped, Dave? Have those replacements helped you?
Well, I only had one replaced.
Oh, okay. I thought it was both.
No, I had the left one replaced.
Okay.
And the right one has always been intact.
Gotcha.
But it helped. You got to work hard to rehabilitate.
Sure. So, Parkinson's disease, what do you want people to know about it? And I know you're doing a lot right now to raise funds, and anything that I can do, I'd love to help out, especially at golf tournaments. I can bring items and try to get some people there, although my contacts don't reach as far as yours do, I'm sure. But what are you trying to do and tell people about Parkinson's disease, Dave?
Well, Parkinson's disease is something new every day. You might get up one day and your legs feel good, you're walking good, you're bending over, you're doing things around the house, and then the next 4 or 5 days, you can't even clink your leg up to take a step. Parkinson is something that you got to fight your way through. You got to stay with it. And it's been that way for me.
Yeah. Well, we're
something new every day.
Yeah. Well, we're all pulling for you, on that side. No doubt about it. Baseball great Dave Parker is our guest here on the ML Sports Platter. Please go buy the book. Amazon.com, online where books are sold, nearby bookstores around your neighborhood. It's called Cobra, A Life of Baseball and Brotherhood. When people finish it, your work here with Dave Jordan, what do you hope, Dave, people say about the book?
Well, I've been getting good feedback. People like the book. They like that it's honest. I was involved in a lot of things off the field, and people were surprised that I was so open with that. And I just said, I'm here.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it. Anything you want to know, ask.
If you created your career highlight film, what does the highlight film start with?
Starts off in a Porsche.
Really?
About
okay.
140 miles an hour.
Oh, no shit. Tell me more.
And it slows down in a bend, and that's for long trips.
Wow.
So I started off fast, matured, slowed down, and matured more, and started a family.
You were the second professional athlete to earn an average of $1 million per year. When you got that deal, what? I mean, what was going on? You were eating at what, the best restaurants? You're going to the gentlemen's clubs, right? You're going to the baseball field and back, and you're having drinks with your buddies. Like $1 million, man, back then. Second professional athlete to do that. That's a lot of money, Dave. I mean, how did you handle that?
Well, I handled it pretty well. I told three of my friends that I was going to be the first player to make $1 million a year. And this was in the 11th grade. And when it happened, they drove up to Pittsburgh and just sit across from me and stared at me for about 20 minutes. And I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? He said, you said you was going to do this back in the 11th grade.
Yeah. No doubt. You spent time with the Pirates, the Reds, the A's, the Brewers, the Angels, and the Toronto Blue Jays. You won a World Series, obviously, with the Pirates in '79. And then again in '89, you won a World Series with the Oakland A's, the Bash Brothers and company. When you win a World Series, when that final out is done, what's going through your body?
It's really hard to describe. I mean, I extended my arms in the air with number one up. Yeah. And it took me a while to get my breath to make it to the clubhouse because it was something that you dream of as a kid. And it's a feeling that you have that is undescribable. It's just the greatest feeling on earth.
Is there a moment in the '79 series that when you felt like, okay, we got this, we're gonna win this series? Do you think about that? And also '89, like was there a moment in each where you said, okay, like we're gonna win this thing?
Well, the Pirates, we got kind of Pat Kelly to thank us for the Pirates World Series. We were in Pittsburgh. Baltimore was in Pittsburgh, and they was up 3-1. And they introduced Baltimore's lineup, and Pat Kelly came out and danced on the foul line. And all us as one stood up and said, let me see you dance the seventh game. And that kind of changed our whole momentum. And we came back, won that game, then we tied it 3-3. And Pat Kelly, his dance changed the whole World Series. Oakland, we should have won in '88.
No doubt. Yep.
But Canseco had said that there was no way that the Dodgers could beat us. And I think that kind of motivated.
And also, by the way, when you get a historical moment like Kirk Gibson going up there and hobbling, winning the world, basically winning the World Series with one swing in the first game. I mean, he set the tone at that. I mean, when he hit that home run, you had to have said, come on, man, there's no fucking way he could do that, right? And here he is hitting the home run, right? I mean, you were like, come on.
I knew he was going to hit the home run before he got to the plate.
You did. Get out of here.
I had been taken out of the game for defense.
No kidding.
And Kurt was dragging the bat up to the plate. We in Hollywood. And I'm standing over there, and I'm saying he's going to hit a home run.
Have you given him shit for dragging it up like that, though? Because there was a little bit of extra Hollywood on it. Have you given him shit since then?
No, the announcers do that.
Oh, okay. All right. I just have a couple more for you, Dave. Again, Dave Parker, our guest. Go get the book, Amazon.com, major bookstores. It's called Cobra, A Life of Baseball and Brotherhood. Just an amazing book. And, I mean, Dave's career is impeccable. I remember watching you, Dave, when I was a kid. I was born in '79. I grew up in the '80s as a little kid, and then went on into the '90s and all the rest. And just baseball is such an important part of the game, an important part of my life, and the game is so important to me. Are you down on the game right now? there's a lot of analytical crap, and the game's really slow, and Rob Manfred's implementing all these different things and rules and all the rest. Are you pissed at the game? Are you mad at the game right now? Because I am.
I'm a little mad.
Yeah, me too.
They don't play it with passion.
Right.
They do stuff that they would never do in my era, like flipping bats 2 stories high, not hustling.
Yep.
Just different. The game takes 3.5 hours. Baseball wasn't.
If you're lucky, 3.5 hours. If you're lucky, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the bat flip thing, Dave, I don't mind that much, but I really get pissed at the runner on second in extra innings. I get so I'm oh my gosh, it drives me crazy with the the 3 batter rule drives me nuts. Even though the bullpen is too into the game, it shouldn't be that much now. I get it, but still, I mean, 3 batters, you should be able to put in a pitcher and have them do whatever you want. You've got the situation going on also with the starter instead of the or the opener instead of the starter. You've got launch angle. You've got spin rate. You've got all this bullshit. And the game, like, go play baseball, man. Like it's not runs. It's home runs. It's walks and strikeouts. Like, go play baseball, man. Hit and run. Put the ball in play. Beat the shift. Hit it the other way. Hustle. Hit and run, right? Like, those are baseball things, man. Those are the things that you guys did that I really appreciate now, man, because the game lacks that. It really does.
It does. I don't watch it that much. I've been to the game maybe about 6 times this year, and that was because I was doing something to promote my golf tournament.
Sure.
But it's hard to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. Final question for you, Dave, in the minute or so I have left with you. All those uniforms, Pirates, Reds, A's, Brewers, Angels, and Jays, did you put on a uniform and feel differently? Because I often ask a lot of Yankee greats that. Like, the first time they put the pinstripes on, they just, like, their body just melts. Did you melt at any time during your career putting on those uniforms, Dave?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, right away. Okay.
Yeah, Pittsburgh gave me the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
And putting that uniform on just made that even more glorious.
Wow.
And Oakland would have been the second one because that team was put together like an all-star team. Ricky Henderson, Coney Langsford, Jose Canseco, Dave Parker,
McGuire,
Dave Henderson,
Eckersley,
Spanbach.
Yeah.
That team was assembled like an all-star team.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And by the way, the Oakland A's have a little bit of history. I mean, that's the thing people forget about. I mean, you go back to the Philadelphia A's, you go, the Oakland A's. I mean, the players that played for that franchise. I mean, it's endless. He is a 7-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, NL MVP in 1978. The list goes on and on and on. 339 home runs, runs batted in, 1493, 2,700 plus hits, 290 career batting average, and he's now an author of a great new book. It's the definitive autobiography by Dave Parker. It's called Cobra, A Life of Baseball and Brotherhood with Dave Jordan. Dave, this has been an incredible honor for me. I grew up watching you play. I loved watching you play, and now it all comes full circle. So thanks for doing this. Continued success, and let me know what I can help with Parkinson's, and also I'd love to play in your golf tournament, my man. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
The ML Sports Platter is brought to you by Brian Comboy of Mass Mutual, New York State. Tax-efficient retirement planning today with Brian. Go with Brian. It's unbelievable the things he opens your eyes to. Great financial plans, you name it. You might have a kid going to college. You might have a career change. Go with Brian Comboy today. Advisors MassMutual.com, and he's on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. Thank you also to the Swan and Whitaker families for their support of the ML Sports Platter, as well as Camilla's Golf Club, Brewerton Ace Hardware, Rosie's Corner, and Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L. Sports. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.